my name is Daniel. In today's video, I'm going to take a departure from what I've been doing previously, working on the Jeep and making bumpers and things like that, to focusing on some headlight restoration. I've recently purchased a Toyota Prius. I know it has nothing to do with off-roading, but it does help me get around town and saves me some bucks. But one of the headlights is clear, the other one is kind of cloudy. So I'm going to go through the steps that I've done in the past to clear those up and basically kind of refurbish those lights. So anyway, stay tuned, we'll get started. So a while ago, I started experimenting with how to clean up lenses. There's plenty of stuff on the web about WD-40 and things like that. There's plenty of quick fixes that last through a couple wash cycles, but it really seems that to get the cloudiness out of headlamps or out of the polycarbonate lens cover or lenses that you have on most modern cars, is you really have to get through that oxidation level. Everything I've read is they apply a film that's a UV resistant film, but over the years, over 5, 6, 7 years, it kind of breaks down and becomes cloudy. And what it does is actually it kind of it gives small little cracks inside of it. So the best way that I've seen, if you put the WD-40, all it does is it kind of fills in those cracks, so it makes it look clear, but it'll wash off. What you really need to do is sand it down, sand off all of that, all the cracks that are on top, and then it'll leave you with bare plastic, which will re-cloud. You have to put a coating on it. In this episode, I'm just going to go through how to clean it off. To apply another coat on it, you can go through clear coats or things like that, or some UV protectant, clear spray paint, things like that. But what I want to do right now is I want to go show you the two headlights, and I'm going to show you all the tools that I'm going to need to do, and then we'll get started. So here you can see this is the passenger side one. It looks pretty clear. The reason being is that they had a small fender bender, I guess, and they bumped this, and this whole lower valance was replaced. And I bet they actually replaced this because this looks brand new and perfectly clear, and the other one's more cloudy. And the reason I know that is I talked to the seller, and I saw that. But also, this has not been reconnected, so I'll fix that. Probably won't warrant a video, but I'll fix that. So I'll probably just come back through and just hit this with some polishing compound. That'll bring that back to looking like new. If you go around to the driver's side, you will see this is a lot more cloudy. So it's not horrible, but it will continue to get worse. Like I said, just more sun exposure, it'll make it worse. But you can see it's really cloudy back through here and then over in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up taping off this whole area around through here. So if I come over with the sander, that I'm not going to destroy the paint, because the paint's in very good shape. But I'll come through and basically, this is a 2012 and this is 2021 now. So it's been out in the sunlight for many years. So anyway, with that, let me show you what I'm going to use in parts and pieces, and we'll get started. So what I ended up buying was the 3M Headlight Restoration. It was many years ago. I had an old Chevy. It was a 94 Chevy. Had the same problem. It was way worse. And I bought that, and it brought them back to looking brand new. So what I did is I ended up going through and you just put it on there. You take a drill, just a standard drill, and you go through the different levels. So you start kind of abrasive. This one has a 500 grit, and then it works its way all the way up to 3,000. I think there's even an 8,000 in here. And then from that point, you switch over to a compound and you do it that way. So, these are Velcro based, the little pads. You put the pads on there, work your way up to finer grit. Then you start on the polishing compound, and what you actually do is do rubbing compound, polishing compound, and then you'll put a wax on it. And I'll do wet sanding on this, so I just have a bottle with some water on it. So it's a wet sander, so I'm going to put just a squirt bottle with some water on it. That's all you really need. There's the masking tape that I'm going to have. Like I said, I like Meguiar, so I'll use the rubbing compound, and then move up to the polishing, and then the carnauba wax. So with that, let me start taping everything off and going at it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around here, but be gentle. I'm not trying to put pressure. I'm just trying to cut the edge of basically there's a space in here. I'm just trying to run the razor blade through there so it cuts it. Not trying to put any real. That'll keep you from, when you're sanding, you kind of go over a little bit. You hit this and you're not going to scrub up your paint. I put it on a setting 2, so it goes a little faster, but light pressure, and it'll want to do this on you, so you just want to have light pressure, so you just barely messing with it. This part, I misspoke. This will actually be a dry sand. When they get to the higher grades, those will be a wet sand. So this will just be a dry sand. All you're doing with this is you're just removing that outer layer of oxidation. And use your judgment when you're sanding on this about what you want to have sand it hard. Like some of this, like this through here, probably needs to go on the 600 grit, but where it's clear, I don't need to hit it with a 600 grit, so there's no reason to do it there. I can just hit the hard parts with the higher grit, the lower grits, and then work my way up with that, and then I'll fade everything in together. Like everything you've always heard, let the tool do the work for you. Don't put a lot of pressure, and just let it kind of float. At this point, I'm just going to take some of this off. You see it has pretty much a constant little haze across there, and you can see if you need to really touch up anything else. This one is, I believe it's an 800. So I'm going to switch this up to an 800 grit, and I'm going to go through the same process. So now I'm going to switch to the 3000 grit. I'll see if this does any good. If I need to make, I'm doing a large jump from 800 to 3000. The only thing else that I have is a 2500, but I'm going to see if I can just jump to that. And this will go into the wet sanding portion, and I'll start, wet sanding this out, and then I'll go into the buffing. So at this point, that is as far as I'm going to go with an abrasive compound that's, a pad abrasive. At this point, I'm going to put on, I've got a foam pad here. I'm going to try to center that so it won't wobble as much. And the next one's going to be rubbing compound. And what I use, that's what I have, and I like this, is Meguiar's rubbing compound. This does pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the pad, rub it around, because otherwise it'll sling it all over the place when you get started. And then just start redoing the same thing, same process, and cleaning this up. So just put a little on the pad like that. I'm going to do this to get it on here, rub it on. I'm going to start slow, actually. I'm going to take it down, it's on setting 2 and 1. I'll put it on 1 to go. I'm just going to put a little wax on it to protect it. But other than that, that is all I'm doing to this. Got a microfiber cloth. It can be anything really, just want to polish it. Basically, take the wax off, let it sit for a little bit. You'll need to apply some kind of protectant to this. I'm not going to show that in this video, but you should apply some kind of protectant to that. You can go out there's plenty of forums online to show you how to do that. I think they have tons of basically clear coats that you can buy from, I think, Lowe's and Home Depot or any auto parts store, and then you just apply it on there. You do the same thing, tape it off much larger so you won't have any overspray issues. You spray it on, and then that will provide you some UV protectant and give you a couple years on it not going and clouding back up. It's just the nature of being out in the sunlight. So we'll start back on the passenger side, same one I started with before. All I did was I put a little wax on that one, and just to make it look a little nicer, so that they would match. So take care of one, take care of the other. I've already got all the tools out. This is the one I was working on previously. As you can see, it's a lot more clear. It looks basically from the camera's angle, it looks brand new. And I'd say from just walking by it, it looks to be. Like I said, I hope you guys appreciate that. And this corner or this corner, I don't know, one of the corners, I'm going to show you a before and after picture, or maybe I'll just flash it up on the screen here so you can see the before and after. But it did a really good job. Like I said, I will need to do some kind of UV protectant on it to give it that really staying ability for many, many years, so I don't have to go through this whole process again. As you saw, it didn't take very long. It went through basically probably one battery. I'd already been using that drill before, so it was probably just one battery. But it was, from what I've seen, this is a way better process. Takes a lot longer than putting WD-40 or any of the other quick fixes. And you get what you put into it, what time you invest into it is what you'll get out of it. If you make it a quick fix, it's going to go away pretty quick. This took probably about half an hour. So it's really from start to finish. The video probably is only a couple minutes long so to see all this through there, but it really only took about a half an hour, and it's good to go. And it's car cleaned up, ready to roll. So it's pretty good. So if you enjoyed this video and you like this, have many more videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get a lot more of these videos. All right, have a good one.